What's up, everybody? Mr. Forrest back with another episode of God Is. And this week, we're going to talk about the truth that God is good. Did you know that the moon is the easiest object to find in the sky at night? Did you know that the moon is 238,857 miles from the Earth? That's really far. And it takes the moon 27 days to orbit around the Earth. Did you know that the moon has mountains? The tallest mountain on the moon is over 15,000 feet tall. The effect of gravity on the moon is only 1/5 as strong as it is on Earth. That means on the moon you can jump 5 times higher than you can on Earth. In 1969, the Apollo 11 landed on the moon. And the first man to ever walk on the moon was Neil Armstrong. During the day, the moon is about 225 degrees Fahrenheit. And at night, the moon is around negative 243 degrees Fahrenheit. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon. And the moon has phases. And during the moon's phases, it makes the moon look like it is in different shapes. Sometimes the moon looks like a fingernail clipping. Sometimes the moon looks like a banana. Sometimes the moon looks like an apple slice. Sometimes the moon looks like a shriveled orange. And sometimes the moon looks big and full. But did you know that even though it looks like the moon is in different shapes, the moon is always round? What you are seeing is not actually the moon giving off light, but rather the moon reflecting light from the sun. So the sun is lighting up different parts of the moon. The moon is always round. We are just seeing different sides of the moon reflecting light from the sun. So depending on where the moon is, we're seeing more or less of the sun's light reflecting off of it. But remember, the moon is always round. Whether it looks like this, or this, or this, the moon is always round. Did you know that God is always good? We remember this often when good things are happening. When we play with our favorite toy. When we eat our favorite food. When we wear our favorite color. When we're comfortable in our pajamas in bed. When we're playing with our cousins or with our best friends. But sometimes bad things happen. Years ago, our first baby died when he was in my wife's tummy. His name was Samuel. Then my wife became pregnant again, and our second baby died while she was in my wife's tummy. Her name was Lahiroy. Not long after that, I fell and hurt my foot. I hurt my foot so badly that I did not walk for a year, and some doctors told me I might never walk again. We wanted to go to the mission field, to a country called Tanzania. But the friends that we were supposed to go with just left us. Not long after that, the man who was going to mentor me and take us to Tanzania to work with a tribe that lived in trees, he had something called an aneurysm, and he fell down and he died. And at this time, I had no job. We had nowhere to live. I couldn't walk. So many bad things happened to us. We were so sad. It was one of the most difficult times in our entire lives. And the moon looked like this. But the moon is always round. And at the time, it seemed like God didn't care. And at the time, it seemed like God wasn't good. But God is always good. Now we have 5 kids on earth and 2 in heaven. Now I can walk, but not just walk, run and play basketball. I love playing basketball. The kids at the park called me old school, and I can still teach them a thing or two. We now have a place to live and a home church, and I'm a kids pastor, and I get to make awesome videos like these. God is always good, even when we can't see it. So every time you see the moon, whether it looks like this, or like this, or like this, remember, the moon is always round. And whatever you're going through in life, whether it's a good time or it's a bad time, remember, God is always good. And to help us remember that God is always good, we have our memory verse, and I'm going to hand things over to the Remembery Verse puppets.
What's up, everybody? Mr. Forrest back with another episode of God Is. And today, we're going to...
I think you're confused.
What makes you say that?
You're El Senor Bosque Francisco Geronimo Jalisco Geraldo Gomez.
Who?
Never mind. Let's just work on our memory verse.
I have a gerbil.
What?
His name is Rhonda.
You have a gerbil who's a boy, but his name is Rhonda?
My toenails need to be clipped.
You don't have toes. How can you have toenails?
One time, I blew my nose, and a booger got stuck to my horn.
Will you stop spouting out random weird facts?
If I eat peanut butter on my pizza, is it called Pete's nut butter?
Can we just work on our memory verse?
Each time, each time, each time.
Oh,
for
not
our
again.
Memory verse. Each time, each time, each time for our memory verse, Grandpa Jim.
I'm not your uncle, and I'm not your grandpa.
Well, you certainly are grouchy like my grandpa.
Our memory verse this week is Psalm 107:1. What? No random fact? No annoying songu? No nicknames for me? Are you okay? What was that?
Sorry about that. I was just visiting the moon. But now I'm back.
You weren't at the moon. You were standing here the entire time.
Did you know the moon is always round?
I did know that.
How could you know that? You've never been to the moon.
Neither have you. Oh, never mind. Can we just work on our memory verse?
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I am not your grandpa. We are not on the moon, and we're running out of time. Can we please just work on our memory verse?
Unibrow corn to control tower, coming control tower. Am I safe to land?
Oh, brother. This is Control Tower. Yes, you are safe to land.
Touchdown! I have successfully visited the moon for the 37th time. Did you know the moon is always round?
I'm not your grandpa. You weren't in space, and yes, I knew that the moon is always round. Now please stay on planet Earth while we work on our memory verse.
Roger that, Houston.
Okay, Psalm 107:1.
Psalm 107:1.
Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his love endures forever.
Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his love endures forever.
Whoa, you got it on the first try.
Yeah, being on the moon always helps clear my head.
Oh, brother. Let's do it with the kids at home.
Psalm 107:1.
Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his love endures forever. Again. Psalm 107:1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his love endures forever. One more time. Psalm 107:1. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his love endures forever. Wow, that was painless.
Back to you, Mr. Forrest. Whoa! Whoa!
I don't really think that El Señor Bosque Francisco Jerónimo Jalisco Geraldo Gomez really went to the moon. Do you? Guys, don't forget it. God is always good. And every time you look up at the sky and see the moon, remember two things. The moon is always round. And remember, God is always good. Guys, I'm so glad you were here this week. Don't forget to say your remembery verse. Don't forget to answer your questions and have your parents email me so you can pick up your prizes on Friday. If you're too far away to pick up your prizes, I can mail them to you. I will see you guys next time. But until then, Mr. Forrest, out.
One small step for unibrow corns, one giant leap for unibrow corn kind.